Niners fans, it's about that time. Sunday night, 5 o'clock. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Always a pleasure and an honor to be on with the best fans in the NFL. Y'all see the background, you see the hat, you see the shirt, the 49ers. Always glad to be on with the best fans in the NFL, the 49ers, the Niner Empire. Today is a special episode. It's always great to collab, especially with NFC West content creators and YouTubers. And I love to collab with Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, but today I will collab with a LA Rams content creator. Goes by the name of the Ramilia Sports Report. And also make sure if you're watching on Jay and the Bay YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Huge shout out to everyone watching Jay and the Bay Facebook, Jay and the Bay Twitter. But let's bring on our guests. And of course, this is an interactive show. I love to see people in the comments from the Niners fans, from the Rams fans. Of course, you guys are welcome. But let's bring on our special guest of the day, Rudy, a.k.a. the Ramilia Sports Report. He just reached 500 subscribers on his YouTube channel, so he's doing big things. He's coming up, that's for sure. But let's bring on Rudy, a.k.a. the Ramilia Sports Report.
Thank you, Jay.
How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Thank you so much. Like I said, man, you're one of my favorite YouTubers. You call it like it is, and you're a classy guy, man. I get high response and accolades from my guys Rams TV about you too. And so the legendary Jay in the Bay. Thank you for letting me come on, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the kind words, man. As I said before the show, I like your setup, man. And I think I saw you the first time it might have been last season, and you're doing your YouTube with your LA Rams content. And of course, I know a few other LA Rams content creators, but everyone has their own style. And we hadn't linked up yet. So I wanted to link up with you. I want to know what your thoughts of the LA Rams offseason so far, draft picks, things like that. We'll definitely get into that. But first, huge shout out to everyone in the chat. Roberto tuned in. Thanks for tuning into the stream. What's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, Roberto. We have Jim Foster in the building. What's good? Jim Foster says, Santa Clara Niners are a clown show. Rams are your daddy and the new dynasty.
Be nice. Jay's a good guy.
It's all good, man. LA Rams fans are coming in strong tonight, but that's all good, man.
That's the thing. It's a huge rivalry, man.
Right.
It's just that's just what I love. We'll get into it, but go ahead, brother. Because
absolutely, I wouldn't have it any other way. This is what I would expect from LA Rams fans. You guys obviously you won the Super Bowl. Congrats to you. You guys were the better team this year, so I can only respect the Rams, man. We got NYCE. What's good? Thanks for tuning in tonight. He says, "What's good, Jay and Rudy? Hope all is well." We got a lot of Niner fans in the building tonight, so that's always a good thing. We got Shifty. What's good? He says, "What's good, Niner faithful?" We got David in the building. What's good? Jay and Rudy. For those that are tuning in right now, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let us know that you guys are enjoying the stream. And also YouTube will share this video out to other viewers. And of course, if you're a Rams fan, do the same thing. And if you haven't heard of Rudy, aka the Ramilia Sports Report, all his social media links are in the description of this video. So make sure you check him out. For those that don't know you, Rudy, what can they expect from your channel? And let them know where they can find you on social media.
No, thank you for the opportunity, Jay. Like I said, and everyone, Ram fans here, Ramilia, Jay in the Bay is a good guy. He's one of the YouTubers that's not a homer. He calls it like it is too, but he's a very nice guy. If he lived next to me, we'd probably go out to sports bars all the time. But okay. So I started out, I was a Ram fan since '79 when the Rams were playing the Steelers as a kid. Right. And so at that time, there was a lot of Steeler fans, the Steeler dynasty was just about ending. And so then I saw this young quarterback named Vince Ferragamo, who had Billy Waddy and Preston Denard. So that's what my channel differs from other channels, because I'm an OG Ram fan from when they were here before, and I can talk about a lot about that and about the woman who shall be nameless, the Rams owner who took the Rams from Los Angeles, which is the mecca of football on the West Coast. Why would you leave to go to St. Louis? So, and God bless my Ramilia in St. Louis. Nothing against them because it's always loyalty over location. We don't have any choice of who our owner is. But at the time, the Rams left for Los Angeles, and so the Rams were out of Los Angeles for 20 plus years. That's why the fan base and a lot of people, there was a lot of bad blood when it came to her leaving and taking the Rams. And a lot of the OG Ram fans that saw the Rams in the Coliseum, when they saw the fearsome foursome and even back, Bob Waterfield and Crazy Legs Hirsch, the Rams have a storied franchise history, and they were the first team to implement African-American players in Los Angeles Rams a year before Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. They were the first team to have an emblem, the ram horn on helmets. They painted it on there. Pete Rozelle came out of the front office. Tex Schramm, the Cowboys GM, came out of the Rams front office. The elephant backfield, the running backs, 100 and some thousand people at the Coliseum back in the day. They were the first Los Angeles pro team to win a championship in Los Angeles before the Raiders, before the Lakers, before the Dodgers. Huge first team to have their games televised in color. Road games as well, on and on and on. We can just go on about the Rams franchise. In my mind, it's been underhyped. But anyway, that's where I differ, because I can talk to the old school Ram fans, also not just the newer ones, which we appreciate and we love, the Ramilia, but also I can harken back to, for instance, the 1989 championship game where Joe Montana led the Niners over Jim Everett, and we had a hurt offensive line after beating Reggie White and the Eagles on the road, LT's Giants on the road, only to face a rested Niner team after we split in the regular season, and whoever was going to win that game was going to go on to the Super Bowl. So we were able to finally get vengeance for that championship game in '89 and get it for this year and win the chip. But that's where my channel differs. I didn't really think about making a channel too. I wanted to get my voice out there and talk to fellow Ram fans, but that's where my channel is a little different, because I can harken back to and live the old Ram school stuff also, as well as the new stuff.
Hey man, the passion, you can just hear it through your voice. Like you said, you're your OG LA Rams fan. You go all the way back to '79. And that's why people gravitate to your channel. And that's also why I wanted to bring you on to my channel to get your perspective on the LA Rams. It's much, much appreciated. And for those, and where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so on social media, Ramilia Sports on Twitter, and the other social media, like I didn't realize I was going to make a channel. I didn't know what I was getting into. There's a lot of grind. You want to keep your name out there, so I'm learning that, and I don't have any problem with it. It's just I got a busy schedule, and so I got to make do, as we all know. But social media, Twitter, Ramilia Sports, IG, the Ramilia Sports Report, and I'm posting more videos there. It's growing all the time, but it's wonderful. I just love talking to guys that I would have never known through, except for my channel. That's right. I would have never met you. We won't be talking here. So
exactly.
And it was a magical year last year. Hopefully we can relive it again. The first year of my channel, we win the Super Bowl. So maybe my channel's good luck.
Yeah, great timing, man. But as you said, man, starting a YouTube channel, I've met a ton of fans that, like you said, we never would have met if we didn't start a YouTube channel. And then also we do collaboration, so that's also a fun part as well. Mm-hmm. And the fans get involved in the chat, and it's nothing but love. It's all good. But got to start off with some of the biggest LA Rams news. Obviously, you know it. What is your reaction to Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp's huge payday to stay with the LA Rams? I believe Donald's for the next 3 years and Kupp for the next 5 years.
Okay, so on this, I'm going to sound cheesy real quick, so pardon me.
Okay.
This is a magical time. Now, when we had the greatest show on turf in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
We left a couple of rings on the table. I mean, who knows what happened with the 2001 Super Bowl, Spygate and all that stuff. If we would have played that Patriot team, we would have beat them 9 out of 10 times. So we should have won that. That's one chip we left on the table. And then we had Akeem fumble the ball against the Saints. We would have probably whipped the Ravens in the Super Bowl because they couldn't handle us when Kurt Warner was a rookie. Imagine now, because that 2001 team was actually may be better than the 99 team that won the Super Bowl. If we could have got past that Saints team and made the playoffs, we probably would have rough shot at the Giants and then went on to the Super Bowl and played the Ravens. Who knows if we would have won, but we left some rings on the table. So now in Los Angeles, flash forward, we have Stan Kroenke. The guys are doing their wonders with the cap. We already have a Super Bowl in Los Angeles at home on the shelf, and now we're trying to win more. We already made mistakes with Golf and Gurley's contract, and they learned from it. And so we call it Camelot or Ramelot to be true. That's the corny thing. It's just a play on words, the magical, mythical, all for one and one for all, the Rams, Musketeers, we, not me, Sean McVay mentality. And so everyone is able to restructure their deals. The guy who didn't restructure is Brockers, and I'm pretty sure he's kicking himself now because we sent him over to Detroit, and he could have had a ring. But God bless him doing that because Ashawn Robinson was a monster in the Super Bowl in the NFC Championship game. So he took over for Brockers. Yeah. So it's a magical time. We just won the Super Bowl. We're going to be contenders for the next 2 or 3 years. And we extended Kupp. We didn't need to. We rewarded him. Imagine that. We extended Stafford. We gave Donald his money without giving any more years, because 2 more years is a lot of wear and tear on Aaron Donald's body. Double team and triple team and being chipped where he can't see. After the second year, we can revisit, and for $30 million, we can bring him back. But who knows? Maybe at that time we'll get some. You don't replace an Aaron Donald, but maybe he'd be ready to retire. I would hate for that to happen, but we can also
happen now.
But we can have some. We can draft some guys that can fill in, and we can still be a formidable defense because we have 2 years to do it, and then we can revisit it. And then we rewarded Kupp, but I was saying that we rewarded Kupp. He had 2 more years on his deal. We rewarded Donald. We extended Stafford, and we saved $13 million on the cap. I mean, how do we do that, right? It's because Pastors and Les Snead, our financial guy, Tony Pastors is amazing. And that's why I say, who knows if we're going to win back-to-back. If we do, that'd be great. But even if we don't, we'll be back in for it again next year. And that's the thing that we'll get into, because remember, Von Miller and OBJ came in halfway through the season. We didn't even have them to start out. So we can always make changes to our roster with Les Snead. So anyway, thank you. I'm sorry I'm going on.
No. Hey, as a Rams fan, I'm sure you guys are elated. These are, cornerstone pillars of the organization. And Aaron Donald, he's been a hell of a player, Hall of Fame player. Now, on the 49ers side of things, Daniel Brunskill, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's a pretty good guard. He plays pretty well against Aaron Donald for whatever reason. But I think Brunskill against Aaron Donald is a favorable matchup for us at times. I know Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. Eventually, he's going to dominate. But, all respect to number 99. I can't say nothing bad about him. The way I
look at that is Brunskill does well if Jimmy G gets the ball out of his hands quick. It has nothing to do with Brunskill. Right. Brunskill is just a big body in the way. But like we saw in the championship game, if Donald is focused and he wants to get in there, you can have 5 Brunskills and they'll ragdoll him just like Ashawn Robinson, because Brunskill is a heck of a player and he has put up some impedance to Donald. But that's like saying, okay, I'm going to stop Michael Jordan. Right. There's no way that happens. Right. Donald Brunskill's not doing it for himself. If Jimmy gets the ball out of his hands quick, or you're handing the ball inside and you're running away from Donald, then you call that stopping Donald. But really, it's not Brunskill by himself. They're always double or triple teaming Donald. That raise high. You can look at Donald's stats and he has 0 sacks, but maybe 1 tackle. But that's not the inside story. The inside story is 2 or 3 guys converging, and that frees up the guys on the outside.
No doubt.
The way we look at it.
A great talent like Donald, you can only hope to slow him down. You can never really neutralize him unless he takes himself out of the game, like when he threw his helmet against the 49ers. Rather than that, we try to just slow him down. Cooper Kupp, man, hell of a receiver, had one of the greatest seasons, of all time last year, and the Rams reward him. So, and let's get into real quick free agency. You guys added Allen Robinson. So, what do you think? Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp, you might sign OBJ. He's still a free agent. What do you think about that? What does Allen Robinson add to this Rams offense?
That's what I'm saying, Jay. This is a magical time, man. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas for us, right? So we wake up and we say, we got who? We got Ndamukong Suh. We got Marcus Peters. We got Aqib Talib. From 2018, rival fans have been saying, "Oh, they can't sustain it. They mortgage their future." Well, here we are, 2022. We already have the chip on the shelf, and we're still going for more. That it's amazing that people still say that, but it's been like Christmas being a Ram fan with the McVay and Les Snead era, because we're able to. I hated that we got rid of Woods, but he wasn't. I wish we still had him, but now we added Allen Robinson, who 2019 had 1150 plus yards receiving with whoever was quarterback then. 2020 had another 1250 yards receiving in 2020. Last year he had injuries and COVID, and that's with Chicago quarterbacks. Now imagine with Stafford. And then you had the playmaker, Michael Irvin, say, "You know what? You're the one guy." He told that to Stafford. He's the one guy that reminds me of me, the playmaker. He's 6'3". He goes up and gets catches. So I'm looking for huge things with him. And then if we get OBJ back, which he crashed McVay's wedding, so they're buddies, and he wants to come back. It's a magical time. The only thing I'm a little curious about is our guy Kyren Williams got hurt. We were going to look for him in the running back with Akers. That way we can imagine a running game, because Stafford, we didn't have a running game. We had Sony Michel and Akers was on the shelf. We didn't have an explosive running game. And that's why Stafford struggled. I thought he would struggle in the beginning and then take off. So that's why he struggled. He was in the MVP voting, and then he started having a couple of 3 games, bad games. So if you have a good running game, oh man, we're going to be explosive. So even if we're missing Von Miller, we're going to put up more points. So I can't wait. Bobby Wagner adds another wrinkle too.
I gotta say, what's good to G-Rod. We know that Matt Stafford is prone to just throw it up in the air and pray. That's exactly what he did in the NFC Championship game.
I'm glad G-Rod brought that up. I got something for that.
Off the ball, baby.
I got something for that. Okay, everybody, look at my face. Listen to what I have to say. Okay, let's pretend I have a magic. Matter of fact, here's my Super Bowl cigar.
Okay.
So imagine the Super Bowl cigar is the wand. Okay, we'll give you that TARP interception. Okay, here's the target interception. Now, give us that touchdown pass that hit my guy Schroenick in the hands. That would have been 7 points. He dropped it. So he's on my S list, but that would have been 7. Give me the 2 interceptions that Jalen Ramsey dropped. They were right to him. One of them was in the red zone. You can have that one pass. We'll take that 7 and we'll take those 2 interceptions. So please stop with the tart stuff. That please let that go. We'll give you that one, and you give us the 2 Jalen Ramsey interceptions and the Schroenick touchdown in the end zone, and it wouldn't even been close. So please remember that.
In every game, there's always a play that could go one way or the other.
And that's the pressure of the game. Yeah. Even Jalen Ramsey dropped it, and he's a top 3 quarterback.
Right.
You wouldn't have known in the Super Bowl, though. He had a bad game, but that's okay.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. Huge shout out to everyone tuning in right now. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I love to see the chat go back and forth between Rams and Niners fans. You guys also, it's this offseason has been the gift that keeps on giving. You added Bobby Wags to the LA Rams defense.
That's why I say it's like Christmas. I mean, okay, so check this out. I wish we had Von Miller. I don't have any ill will feelings towards Von Miller. I love the guy. He brought us a chip in Los Angeles. But remember, and it's funny because other fans were saying, he's washed. They're kind of mad or jealous about it. He's washed. He's not going to do nothing. He wasn't the same Von Wagner that he was when we got him. But when you have AD raising havoc, Donald should get paid by the Ebucoms, by the what's the other guy's I can't say his last name. We lost him. We call him Obo, the offensive,
the outside. Tackle. He went to the Chargers, right?
Yeah. Sebastian J. All these guys are getting paid thanks to who? Number 99. Because Ebicom was a good player, but he wasn't the same with you guys, and he had injuries, but he wasn't the same Ebicom when you have Donald raising havoc. And then we also had the other edge rusher. I can't, I don't remember his name, but we're going to have a different defense with Wagner. We're going to those little short run plays that where you guys have Trey Lance, you can throw the ball deeper now. That actually plays into our defense because our defense was holding things in front of you. Don't let them get the deep pass. And we fell right into the hands of the short pass Garoppolo offense. But those little short plays now, Bobby Wagner is going to be used to blitz up the middle, running behind Donald and Ashawn Robinson and Gray Gaines. It's going to be a different type of monster defense. So hopefully We have some edge rushers that we can use, but I hope you guys will cut Ebukam, man, and we can bring him back home. That's $5 to $6 million on the cap, and you guys are cap strapped right now with Bosa and Debo's deal, and $25 million. You guys are paying $25 million to the Subway sandwich master, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, you guys got to free up some money somewhere.
Don't worry. Number 10 won't be on this roster for long. Eventually, he'll get cut as soon as he passes his physical. Hopefully, that'll happen either late June, early July. So
yeah, he got you guys with that surgery.
Cap freed up, but no, we're going to keep Samson. He struggled a little bit in the first half of the season last year, and I really think he came on strong in the second half. And we like to keep at least 8 to 10 defensive linemen on the active roster. And Samson is making about $5 million, but I think he'll do well. He has the potential. I think he's the favorite probably to start.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
He's good. I mean, we just want him to be an edge rusher. And it seemed like with the Rams, he was either dropping back in coverage as a linebacker, or sometimes he would go after the quarterback. But on the 49ers, it's just strictly go after the quarterback. And he's going to get a lot of favorable matchups when you got, the best edge rusher in the NFL, Nick Bosa, on the opposite side. So we like Samson, and it is a consolation prize to get the second best linebacker in the NFC West. I mean, with Bobby Wags, we know who the first is. Can you say his name? Can you say his name?
Are you talking about Warner?
Fred Warner, yeah. Oh, yeah. The best linebacker in the NFC West, best linebacker I say the best linebacker in the NFL.
Well, let me ask you this. When Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner lined up as Seahawks versus Niners, who usually won?
Well, yeah, they had Russell Wilson. Come on, man.
We got Stafford.
You can't compare Russell Wilson to Jimmy G. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Stafford used to beat Russell Wilson. So now we got the Niner killer in the middle. See, we're the only team to have all pros at 3 levels of the defense. You got Aaron Donald in the line. You got Bobby Wagner in the middle, who's sure to be Hall of Famer. He's not a primetime Bobby Wagner, but he's 100% light years ahead of Troy Reeder, who was in there. And that's going to pay dividends for the next 2 years with Ernest Jones and Lewis, all of our young linebackers, not just this year. And then in the back end, we got Jalen Ramsey, who's the top 3 cornerback. And then we brought back in Troy Hill to work with them. He works good with them inside and out. PFF rated him 6th top cornerback in the league. I mean, it's going to be a magical time again. So we're actually possibly better than we were last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because I know the Rams lost 8 starters on their starting lineups on both sides of the ball, a total of 8 guys. You mentioned Von Miller. Let's see, I pulled it up. So you lost Von Miller, you lost cornerback Darius Williams, you lost defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day. So you lost a lot of talent on that team, and you lost Whitworth. The potential, he could be a Hall of Fame left tackle, but he's been rock steady on that left side.
Yeah, but love Big Whit.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Joseph Noteboom taking over that left tackle spot? You guys paid him pretty, 3 years, $40 million.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing with these linemen. We returned 3 offensive linemen from last year. People forget Big Whit had an injury, and guess who had a sub in for him? Noteboom. So he's going to be fine. The other thing to remember too with the Whitworth thing is, you remember Weddle came out for the scrap heap last year.
Yeah,
he helped us win it. Matter of fact, he had some big plays in the championship game against the Niners. That veteran leadership, he was fresh. Yeah. And then you remember in 2018 when Todd Gurley wasn't his explosive self. Unfortunately for the Super Bowl, we had to get C.J. Anderson off the scrap heap and help run the ball. Don't forget that Big Whit right now he was in OTAs in camp helping the Logan Brusses that we just drafted, and Noteboom and all these guys. He's like a coach on the field. Don't be surprised if the playoff run we need some depth problems and Big Whit comes back and re-signs for the playoff run. So don't we're not worried. I mean all these things with Les Snead, we're like, you got this, right? Okay, there you go. And because remember, these guys look at the team and roster and what we need, and they are willing to bring guys in. So Big Whit could be back with us towards the end of the season. He is retired. He's not looking forward to anything like that, right. But it is a possibility. Now we have our linebackers that we came back from last year, the Sheltons and Havenstein's back, and we have Brian Allen and Noteboom, and then we drafted Bruss. We'll be fine. The O-line, they just have to gel and get time together. The other thing is we got for the Darius Williams, he wasn't the Darius Williams from a couple years ago. We got Troy Hill, who's actually better than Darius Williams. So that's what I say. We upgraded our roster. The only thing that we don't have is a Von Miller replacement, but Bobby Wagner makes our defense different. And so actually shores up a more weaker spot because we'll still have a great pass rush. But now we have the middle linebackers to worry about.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this defense pans out. You lost a few starters there. Of course, we know you added Bobby Wags. You still got Leonard Floyd, who's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting to see how this defense really comes together. You guys drafted. I know the GM says FTP, but out of the draft this year, did the Rams draft any significant players? I should say, did the Rams draft any players who you think will play a significant role this season?
There's a couple of guys, and like I said on my channel, we've been drafting guys in the late rounds. I mean, the Cooper Kupp was a second-round pick, Johnny Johnson the third. This is nothing new for us. Every year since 2018, we always lose players, and we have to refill them. And so we get rid of the first-round picks, and we get proven commodities. And then luckily for us, we're able to draft late and get guys that can play now and come up. And so, we drafted Ebicom in like the fourth or third round. We drafted Cooper Kupp in the second round. We drafted Greg Gaines, number 91, the spirit of Kevin Green, the monster in the Super Bowl. He's taken over for inside there for Brockers and for the Sebastian Joseph Day. Ashawn Robinson's there too. But the guys to look out for is Jacoby Durant. Okay. Cornerback, he runs a 4.3, 4.38 in the 40, fast, athletic. He has 12 picks in the. I'm surprised he was still there for us. He had 12 picks in college. He won a bunch of awards, first team All-Pro. Then we have Quentin Lake from UCLA, also there. Nice. He's got a lot of potential. He can be in there also. And then we have a guy that looks under Jaden Ramsey, Darian Kendrick. He patterns his game after Ramsey. He's got a lot of swag. He's got a lot of upside. He's raw though. He's potential. But the guy that I'm talking about really is Jacoby Durant, because Deion Sanders, when they played his team, he called him a dog, and he said this guy is a great player. He has a lot of potential in the NFL. So that's who we got. And then one guy to keep track of in our pass rush is Daniel Hardy, 6'3", 240 edge rusher. He's relentless. He's athletic and explosive. So again, you don't have to be a brain scientist to rush the passer when you have Aaron Donald there raising havoc. You just go get him. Right. And so plus he's a tackle machine and he's got a high work ethic. So we got a lot of tricks under our sleeve, and hopefully, and then Logan Bruss, the offensive tackle from Wisconsin. So he's done it again. It looks like it's amazing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those picks pan out. The 49ers have done a lot in this draft as well. Our first overall pick in the second round was a defensive end, Drake Jackson, out of USC.
I love him. That's my USC Trojans, baby.
Yeah. So we were surprised that he was still there at pick 61. I believe it was pick 61 overall. So yeah, we feel that we have one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, and Chris Kasarik. He's done wonderful things with guys like Arden Key, who got paid. Well, he got a 1-year deal with Jacksonville, but he had one of his best seasons so far in his career. Kerry Hyder's back with us. He led the team in sacks a few years ago. So we wanted to get a edge rusher under multiple years of contracts, because right now he's basically, him and Bosa are the only two defensive ends who are under team control for multiple years to come. So we got the edge rusher. We added some depth along the offensive line. We got a running back, Tydavius Price. He seems to be a bruiser, and it's intriguing to see what we'll do with him in the running game, because 49ers want to run the ball, and we have 4 or 5 running backs easy. So we made some moves in the secondary as well, drafted some corners. But I think a lot of our draft picks, honestly, is just depth. The only player I can really see, maybe Tydavius Price and probably Drake Jackson. Those are probably 2 guys who may not start, but they could get a significant role, on both sides of the ball. So
let me ask you this, Jay. So the one thing that didn't address was the offensive line, and you have a young, inexperienced quarterback, Trey Lance, right? Yep. So he has potential. He's a nice kid. I seen him in his press conference, and he seems very nice. And he's got a strong arm, and he's fast, and he's mobile and tall. but he hasn't played a lot.
Yeah.
And then last year, he had flashes here and there against the Cardinals, and then he didn't look that good against the Texans in the first half. In the second half, he played better. And then, but is that a red flag for him already getting hurt twice already? Because he's young. If you have a defense where he gets confused, he could tend to start trying to run the ball, and then he's going to get hurt. And then are you going to bring Brock Purdy out of the back, to come in? Or are you going to bring in Sudfield? I mean, that could end the Niners season before it even starts if he gets hurt. So that's why I'm thinking maybe they're going to keep Jimmy around. What do you think about that? And then I'm going to ask you about the offensive line too right now.
No way in hell Jimmy G will be on this roster come week 1. No way in hell, especially with his $25 million price tag. There's no way either he's going to get cut or traded. I was thinking, hey, why not ship him off to Cleveland? Clearly, that's a dumpster fire over there. I would hate.
Well,
to
God bless Cleveland. We got OBJ.
I would hate to see Jimmy G over there, but business is business. Deshaun Watson probably won't play this year. They burnt the bridge with Baker Mayfield. Jimmy G to Cleveland sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Ship him off there. But yeah, there's no way we keep Jimmy as a backup. I don't think it's good for the locker room. And if you're Jimmy, why would you want to stay? I mean, this team drafted your replacement, basically said, hey, you're not good enough. You can't get us over the top. I wouldn't want to be here if I was Jimmy. But we are all systems go with Trey Lance. We saw him last year. He struggled a little bit, but he's a rookie. I wasn't surprised by that. We're going to lean on this offensive line for the 49ers. We're going to lean on the running game. We're going to run the ball easily 25 to 30 times a game. And I think Trey Lance, he's a playmaker at the quarterback position. He can throw the ball deep. That's what we're looking forward to for him to bring to this offense. You mentioned the offensive line. Unfortunately, Alex Mack retired. That was I wasn't surprised because he didn't show up for the voluntary OTAs. He forfeited $100,000. And I know, hey, he's made over $50 million, but $100,000 is still $100,000. I mean, you forfeit that. So we're leaning towards Jake Brendel. He's a backup center. He was with the 49ers for a few years. He took snaps in on the practice squad during practice last year with Trey Lance. So Trey Lance and Jake Brendel, they already have a rapport, which is great. I think we're steady at left tackle. The big silverback Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the NFL. No concerns there. Now at left guard,
that's what I'm saying.
At left guard, Aaron Banks didn't really see the field last year. I mean, he played on some special team snaps. I think he played less than 10 offensive snaps, but that was because we had Lincoln Tomlinson there. He ain't gonna start over Lincoln. Lincoln just got paid. Yeah, Lincoln Tomlinson left the 49ers this offseason. Unfortunately, he went to the Jets. Yeah, happy for him. Happy he got his money. But we're expecting, our second round pick last year out of Notre Dame, Aaron Banks, to take over that spot. But we drafted a ton of offensive linemen. We easily go like 10 to 14 deep on our offensive line. And I think that's great. There's a lot of guys. It's a lot of unproven guys, but there's no doubt the best man for the job will win, and that'll be determined in training camp. So Trent on the left side, Aaron Banks left guard, Brendel at center, right guard, steady, veteran Brunskill, I think will be solid there. And then Mike McGlinchey suffered that quad injury last year. And we'll see what happens. All signs are saying he's good, but we'll see what happens when the pads come on. We start blocking, and McGlinchey was improving last year. He's not on Trent Williams level, but I think he is a above average right tackle. He'll be in the last year of his contract this year. He wants to get paid as well, so he's going to try to put forth his best effort. I think we'll get the best season we can get out of McGlinchey. So. If I was, the offensive line is definitely a concern, but I think it will get sorted out, in training camp, I think.
Well, that's why it surprises me with the Niners because, Kyle Shanahan and McVay are buddies. And so he saw how we don't mince words. If we're going to get rid of you, we get rid of you. So I don't understand why they don't just cut Jimmy G and say publicly, Trey Lance is our quarterback. This is just the way it is. It's assumed that he's the quarterback, but he hasn't come out and said it. He does say that, maybe we'll trade Jimmy. He doesn't say they are. They don't do it. He's already costed them money on the cap because he's before June 1st. So I don't understand that. But the other thing too is you have a young inexperienced quarterback, and then you're saying that they're going to run the ball. Kyle Shanahan is a master at scheming running games, but Lincoln Tomlinson's left. You have to shore up that part. And then you have Brunskill. He's going to be playing maybe out of position, but he's an okay, but he's coming back at least. That's some experience. And then you have Trent Williams. You can't say anything about him, but he's there. That's great. That's one great guy. And then Mac's going to retire. He is going to retire. He's not going to retire. He is going to retire. Where's John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's leadership? Hey, dude, are you going to retire or not? Because we need to get some guys in here, And then not Brunskill, my guy McGlinchey looks like a tight end. He's lost like 60 to 80 pounds in the pictures of social media. Who's he going to block?
That was an old photo, man. You can't believe everything you see on
there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to see. But then plus he wasn't that great either. He was okay. So my point is this. If you remember the last 5 to 10 minutes of that NFC Championship game, how the Rams, and I know Trent Williams was banged up on that side, but the Rams were just getting right in there like Swiss cheese. Boom, 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 right? Now you have an inexperienced quarterback between a lowered offensive line. Are you going to be able to run the ball like you want to? Because these guys are having to get together. And guess what? We play you guys twice within the first 6 games.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
We're looking forward to it.
I'm sure when Donald sees that offensive line, remembering what he did in the championship game against the good guys, the Tomlinsons and all that, man, I'm here for it. And then Bobby Wagner saying, oh, I know what they do. I know what they do on this play. I know what Kyle Shanahan does.
A step slower, Bobby Wagner. But as far as the running game, I have no concerns. As you mentioned, Trent Williams, he was on one leg. He was playing on one leg in that game. He'll be healthy, ready to go.
Yeah, he was beat up
the season. Yeah, he said it. He said it during the OTAs like a week ago. He said there's no business. He had no business being in that game, but he just went out there because that's what you got to do.
Jack Youngblad played that Super Bowl that I said I became a Ram fan with the broken fibia, with the fractured fibia against and I said, man, imagine if you were healthy for that Super Bowl, we probably would have beat the Steelers. He's playing with the fractured fibia, but yeah, I'm just giving you some hard time, and I'm looking forward to it, man. As for me, like I said, I'm an older fan, so the rival was always the Niners. It wasn't the Seahawks, but in modern times, the Seahawks was your rival because when they went to St. Louis, the Seahawks had the legend of Boom and all that stuff. And so now it's back getting where it was before. I was watching the 90s team where the Niners had won 18 games in a row, and they were going for the record since they won the Super Bowl in 89. At 89 they won. They had won 18 games in a row, and the Rams with Jim Everett came to Candlestick Park, and the Rams beat them 27-10. And they intercepted Joe Montana and sacked him over and over again. And the Rams broke that streak. And then I saw a graphic that said the Rams had won the last 3 regular season games against the Niners at Candlestick. I'm like, wow, see, that's the rivalry I'm talking about. Whenever we had Jim Everett, we had a chance to beat, Joe Montana-led Niners team. So Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard and on and on and on. Kevin Green rushing, had 4 sacks against Joe Montana in the 88 game. Amazing. To me, that's the rivalry, because look at last year. All those Niner fans came to SoFi Stadium, and it was good times, man, because like I said, the Rams fan base haven't been here for 20 years. And so, we're implementing in the community again. And so it's going to be amazing again this year.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see these 2 fan bases come together again, one at Levi Stadium and one at SoFi. I can't wait. Gotta say, what's good to Livy's World and Ludacris representing the LA Rams. Thanks for tuning in to the stream tonight. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Let us know that you guys are enjoying the stream. We have David Renteria in the building. He is an Arizona Cardinals fan. He says nobody fears the Niners, third best team in the West. This is coming from a Cardinals fan who's had 1 playoff appearance since Kyler Murray. I
like your avatar pick. That's me later.
Come on, man. You represent the Cardinals, man. Can you really talk? Come on, man. Let's be real. Now the Cardinals did beat us. I think the Cardinals beat us twice last year. I think they did.
With who was the
Colt McCoy? Yeah,
the great Colt McCoy.
Yeah, exactly. That was embarrassing. So, but
guys are 12. Yeah, that was man. What did you say? I didn't see your stream on that day. What did man? That's okay. Let me stop you real quick, Jay. Yeah. You know how you felt when you lost to them with that quarterback?
Yeah.
That's how we felt when you beat us with Mullins. That's the exact way we felt. There's no way in hell that they should have beat us with Mullins. I don't care how good the Niners defense was. There's no way that should happen. That's how we felt.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. That was that was it couldn't get any worse than that. I mean, and it's no disrespect to Cole, but he's not a starter.
Well, he's not the starter. Yeah,
exactly. So I thought we had a huge advantage that day, but it goes to show you have to play with the right attitude, and you can't just expect the other team to lay down because the other guys get paid too. So
that's why it's great. That's why the NFL is so beautiful. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. No, exactly. What are your thoughts? Because a lot of non-Ram fans will say that the LA Rams, they have the stars, they're in Hollywood, they have the big names, Donald, Ramsey, Cup, etc., but they lack positional depth. And this is something that the Niners strive in with our complete 53-man roster. So what do you say to the critics who say that, yeah, the Rams have the big stars, but if one of those guys gets nicked up, they won't have the depth behind them? Is that true? Is that a true statement? They don't have depth.
Well, I mean, it is true. I mean, if you don't have depth, you could be a problem. But you can't have everything. You can't bring in a Wagner. You can't bring in a Von Miller. You can't bring in an OBJ or all these big name players and also have a bunch of backups everywhere. So we pick and choose. I mean, our secondary is pretty good. Our offensive line has pretty decent backups now. The quarterback room, it's going to be amazing this preseason because I'm looking for Bryce Perkins, who's a mobile quarterback, to beat out Wolford. He's got a decent arm and he's mobile and he's even hurdling guys. So imagine, flash forward 3 years, you have maybe Bryce Perkins leading the Rams, a mobile quarterback, against Trey Lance leading the Niners. But I would rather have a team that's Super Bowl capable and Super Bowl contender, and we have some deficiencies on depth, than being back to the Jeff Fisher era. Because, I mean, this whole thing about we're going to draft and we're going to build brick by brick and we're going to do this, it doesn't work for 31 other teams. They've been doing that for years. Ask the Browns. Ask the Jets. The Niners haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. I mean, you have to win now because of free agency. I mean, every year we lose players. So it does work to a point, but you have to bring in top names. You have to do that now because it is what it is. Imagine, check this out, Jay. Imagine, I know Trey Lance is your guy and everything, and we'll see what happens. I would have had sleepless night and nightmares if you guys would have picked up Stafford, stayed pat and got Mac Jones, because imagine Stafford with that running game. Right. And then you could have got Mac Jones or maybe even got Kyle Pitts. And, maybe if you needed to trade my guy Kittle because he gets hurt. And get some draft picks for him. I mean, that's the way you could have been a monster for the next 2 or 3 years and probably already won the Super Bowl with Stafford. But with Trey Lance, he's a young kid. We'll see what happens. But I'm so glad that we were able to get in there and get him before you guys had a chance to get Stafford.
I think we're happy with how it turned out. I mean, there's no doubt Stafford. He's a potential Hall of Fame player. Had some great seasons. He puts up great numbers. But I think we're happy with Trey Lance. The dual threat option at quarterback. Kyle Shanahan hasn't really had that quarterback since RG3, and he lit up his rookie season. I believe RG3 got Rookie of the Year. So we are very, very excited with Trey Lance. He's got all the weapons around him. The offensive line, I think that'll get situated in training camp. But we've got weapons galore. You might have heard of this guy, Deebo Samuel. And no, he has not been signed to an extension yet, but
pay me.
But he did show up to mandatory minicamp. So, I think all is good. I would expect the Deebo Samuel extension maybe in July or August, especially when number 10 is off the roster.
I was joking on my channel. I was saying, they were talking about Deebo. Is he going to come to camp? So Kyle Shanahan brings you guys a little early to camp to make sure he's show the media and get him off his back that Deebo's in there. He came to camp, and then back to back the Rams signed AD and Cooper Kupp to the extensions, and then Kyle Shanahan, John says, "Well, we're going to close up shop, guys. We're going to close up in a day early because they don't want to field questions about when is Bosa and Deebo getting their contracts. The Rams up the freeway did. What about you guys?" So they closed up shop early after that.
well, Bosa, he's going to have his 5th-year option next season, and we've already exercised that option. So Bosa, if I was Nick Bosa, I wouldn't want to get an extension this year. If I have another All-Pro season next year, double-digit sack year, the money goes up exponentially. So the only player that we're worried about is Deebo Samuel, and it's not really a worry. Deebo don't have no leverage. Let's be real. He's not going to sit out due to the new CBA rules. He's not sitting out. The Niners can't technically rescind those fines if he doesn't show up, but there's always a way you could do it. You could put it in the contract. But Deebo's scheduled to make about $4 million this year. It's the most he's made out of any season. This is his rookie deal. So Deebo has to show up, show out. I think he will get paid this offseason, and he'll be a 49ers player for years to come.
Let me ask you this, Jay, because you're insider on the team. I just see from the outside, and Deebo is a heck of a, Aaron Donald likes to mess with him when he says who Deebo who, but he's a heck of a player. Amazing how big he is that he can run so fast, right? And he's powerful. Right. But let me ask you this, as a Niner fan who knows more than me watching them, is he like? For instance, if he's not getting the ball enough with a young Trey Lance because he is so young, he is learning how to command from, I guess, Steve Young's coming in to help him.
Yep.
So that's good. They should be doing that. But in the huddle, let's say it's a tough time and Deebo's not getting the ball. Is he the kind of player that's going to be, hey, man, aren't you going to throw me the ball? Is he going to be a problem? Because he's also mad about his contract. Do you think that's going to be a problem for a young quarterback to be in that huddle with an unhappy Deebo Samuel? What do you think about that? I don't know him personally.
Yeah. I don't think Deebo Samuel will be unhappy in this offense. The whole reason he played wide back last year is because Jimmy G was under center. Jimmy G can't really throw the ball outside the numbers accurately. Normally Jimmy G does his damage over the middle of the field. And with Trey Lance, I don't think we'll have that problem. Now, there could be some accuracy issues with Trey Lance when the first few games of the regular season starts. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that, but I don't think Deebo would get upset with Trey. I think there's a lot of leaders. You got Kittle, you got Trent Williams. There's a lot of leaders along the offense, and I don't see Deebo Samuel doing that. If he didn't really get upset with Jimmy, and I know you see Jimmy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't think he'll get upset with Trey, especially with Trey. And that was the knock on Jimmy, was that he was making mistakes that we would expect a rookie or a second-year guy to make. And Deebo, at least to the media and everyone, all the Niners players, no one ever said, well, Jimmy's not good enough. Jimmy's not a good leader. No one ever said that with the 49ers. To the media, it was all positive things. Now, behind closed doors, who knows? But now I don't see Deebo getting upset with Trey if he can't get them the ball. But we have one of the best play callers, play designers in the NFL, and Kyle Shanahan. So getting Deebo the ball won't be a problem, I don't think.
Props to my guy. I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Gotta say, what's good to Kels Chronicles. He's a 49er content creator and fanatic just like me. Thanks for tuning in to the stream tonight. Also, gotta say, we have a super chat. Let me read this real quick and put it up on the screen. And looks like Rudy might have just accidentally gone out, but he should be back. Blue True, appreciate that super chat, $10. Thank you for the donation to the channel. Blue True says, what's good? Jay and Rudy, y'all got me excited for the 49ers Rams rivalry. Keep it coming. Appreciate that donation to the chat or to the stream, Blue True. And Ramilia Sports Report, he will be back. He may have accidentally gone off, but he will be back. But huge shout out to everyone in the stream tonight. I love a lively chat. Rams and Niners fans going at each other, keeping it, respect. That's what I love to see. Make sure you guys follow Rudy on all his social media links, YouTube, IG, Twitter. All the Ramilia Sports Report links are in the description of this video. And make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to read some of these comments until Rudy gets back. Let's see. Where did I leave off? So David Renteria says 49ers are overhyped, like always, 8 and 9. Wow. I don't see that happen. Ludacris says Damian Lee, regular season bowl champions versus Super Bowl champions. Job says, I love Note Bloom. I wanted us to pick him up before the Rams signed him. All right, Rudy, what's good, man?
Well, what happened? I had all these screens going, and I got.
It must have been a glitch, man. It must have been a glitch. So yeah. Let's get into. We talked a little bit about the Rams off season. Let's talk about the schedule. Now, looking at the schedule, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. But what do you think? Who's the toughest competition in the NFC West for the Rams? I would love to hear that from a Rams perspective.
Okay, so because the Niners are unknown with Trey Lance, they're going to be a decent. Well, let me just say it this way: the Niners always with Kyle Shanahan and the talent on both sides of the balls are always going to be tough. So they're going to be one of them. The Arizona Cardinals are the enigma of the division because they got us the first game, and when they're rolling with Kyler Murray, he's a weapon. But the only thing is because he's a small, stout, he's a small guy, not a stout guy like a Russell Wilson, like a piece of iron. He tends to get hurt and he can't last throughout the season. So they got to figure that part out. That's unfortunate having that type of quarterback that's not a bigger guy. But also D-Hop being gone for 6 games is going to really hurt them.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks, I mean, we'd like to give them a couple of second-round picks, and we'll get DK Metcalf, and just let them help them rebuild. we'll give them a couple of first-round draft picks in the 2026, 2027, and we'll get DK Metcalf off.
The Seahawks aren't that dumb. They're not that dumb.
but yeah, so it's going to be between the Niners and Cardinals to see where the run is. But unfortunately for the Cardinals, it's going to be hard to replace D-Hop because their offense wasn't the same without him in there.
Exactly. That's when they had their skid in the back half of the season, and they've done it 2 straight years. So, they're going to start the first 6 games without D-Hop. It'll be interesting to see, how they'll be able to overcome that. I know they traded for Hollywood Brown. Maybe him and Lamar Jackson aren't a great fit. I know Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray played in college, and they were pretty good tandem there. So, maybe going back to Arizona, maybe that'll elevate Hollywood Brown the rest of his career. I guess we'll see. So how about who is the LA Rams toughest non-division game? And I will just put the schedule up here so that we all can see it. Give me 1 second.
I want to give props out to my Ramilia in the chat, the Round super fan coming in here. All you guys that came in here, I appreciate it. Jay in the Bay is a good guy. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, he's a good dude. He's a Niner fan, which we all hate the Niners, but we give this guy props. He's a great YouTuber, awesome guy. I can vouch for him. And my guy G-Rod, I got that Round Super Bowl hat for you, baby. Just let me know. G-Rod's a good guy, but yeah. Okay. So what I like about this schedule, Jay, is it's going to be tough because if we were bringing back all of our offensive linemen from last year, right, we'd be fine. We're just basically an extension of last year, right? So our offensive line has its own challenge, but luckily we're bringing back most of our guys that have played before, right? So that's the silver lining. Now, what I love about this schedule is we get to play the AFC West for a test run. So imagine if we get into the Super Bowl again. We already have film on them against us. Even if we don't win those games, I want to win every game, right? Yeah. We get film against the AFC West teams that one of them we're going to play them if we get there. We get to redo or see what works against them. We get a trial run. I love it. I love that we're playing them. So all the AFC West teams, I'm looking forward to playing Russell Wilson. I'm looking forward to have the Raiders at SoFi Stadium, and then we can show them film of the Rams winning the Los Angeles Super Bowl. One thing about the Raider, they say we were the first to win a Super Bowl. The 1951 Rams were the first team to win an NFL championship in LA before the Raiders, but they didn't even have a parade. Al Davis didn't want to pay for a parade, and then they had a less turnout. Then our turnout. The Rams have been gone for 20 years. I went to that parade. It was amazing. It wasn't as big as the Lakers and Dodger parade, of course, because they've been here for decades.
Right.
But I had to move to the side. There was so many people. I have a video about it. But yeah, they didn't even. People don't realize the Raiders, when they won a Super Bowl in Los Angeles, they didn't even have a parade because Al Davis didn't want to fork money for that. And so they just had a little rally, and it wasn't even a lot of people. So so I didn't even know that. I found out about that recently. I got to do a video about that. But okay, but yeah. So the teams here. I'm very iffy about the Bills game because it's game 1. I wish we could have played that a couple games back, but I'm excited because I have a couple of quarterbacks that I love that aren't Rams. Josh Allen, the Chargers quarterback I love, but that's going to be tough. So on that one, I see us possibly winning. Let's say we win that game. I think we win that game. The Falcons, we should win that game. The Cardinals, because without D-Hop, we should win that game. And then Monday against the 49ers.
Your first loss.
Honestly, if you look at the two teams, by the 4th game, our offensive line should be gelling. We should be able to win that game. I mean, if all of our teams are playing the way they should, Stafford is a monster. And then by then, Allen Robinson should be acclimated to the offense. I can see us winning that game. Against the Cowboys, it could go either way. I can see us winning that game. I can see us winning the first 2, 4, 6. I can see us being 6-0 or 5-1. One of those games, maybe the first game, right there. And then the Niners game at SoFi Stadium. I see us sweeping you guys this year. Only because of the quarterback experience now. Because he's going to be a problem with mobile quarterbacks, but guess what's the Rams specialty when it comes to mobile quarterbacks? We stop mobile quarterbacks. From Kyler Murray to Russell Wilson, we stop mobile quarterbacks. That isn't nothing new for Donald and Floyd and them to run them down. And then our defense is a defense that keeps things in front of you. We don't want you to get behind us, so you play into our hands. And so I see us doing that, especially if the offensive line is struggling, if he's struggling by then. And then the Bucs. Ever since we lost that Super Bowl, when Cooper Kupp was out and Todd Gurley was hindered, he wasn't his explosive self. We've been whipping Tom Brady's butt. I thought we retired him for good this time, and I see us winning. I see us winning that game. So we could possibly be, 2, 4, 6, 8. We could possibly be 7-1 or 5-2, give or take the Cowboys game and Bills game.
Wow, you sound very, very confident. And I expect nothing less, but
only because of this, Jay. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but we've already done this already. We've already gone through and won the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, we've already beat you guys at, we played you guys tough. The second to last game, we had a 17. Forget the championship game. We should have won the let's just be real. We should have won that last game. We had 17-0 lead on you guys. We should have won that game.
The game was 4 quarters.
And then, it is 4 quarters.
How you
I mean, the W is a W, but then we got the ball back and the lead. Stafford did a drive. We got the lead. We had the ball with a minute something, and then McVay pulled a Kyle Shanahan and got conservative. Didn't try to get a first down, and we kicked the ball back to you guys. You guys tied it. I was already waving bye to the 49er fans in the stand. Bye, because I thought that game was over, and we took you guys out of the playoffs. But it actually worked out perfect because we sent you guys loose on the Cowboys for us and the Packers, and you took care of business, and then we took care of you guys at SoFi Stadium. So it actually worked out perfect. So like I said, it was a magical season, Jay. It couldn't have gone any worse. But that's why I say we've already went through. Hey, my guy Grinder 12. We've already went through a tough season last year. I mean, look at the Super Bowl. We were down to our 3rd string tight end. Basically, it was Cooper Kupp. OBJ went down. We've already been through tougher than this schedule. So I'm very confident. I'm very confident in our guys. And then year 2 with McVay and Stafford. Woo, boy. I mean, greatest show on turf 2. Can you say that? I mean,
no, y'all don't have a Marshall Faulk in that backfield.
Well, we don't. Well, with Marshall Faulk, but we do have a good pass. We got a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and we got guys on the end that can do it. Now, Marshall Faulk is true, but you can't have everything.
Right. No, but I would say, the 49ers have beaten the Rams the last 6 out of 7 times with Jimmy G at quarterback. A lot of Niner fans feel like we're getting an upgrade with number 5 under center, Trey Lance.
Well, see, that's a misnomer. That's a misnomer because Stafford was not there for those 6 games. So you can just toss that out the window. The way I look at it, like I said, we should be 2-1 against you guys. The first game, let's revisit that. So the Rams are sky high. We got OBJ, we got Von Miller, 2 games before Monday Night Football. And guess who gets hurt? Robert Woods is out for the season. So now we're in our feelings.
Game, baby.
No, but listen, so we're in our feelings. We're like feeling sorry for ourselves. We go to Levi Stadium and they whip our butt. We struggled because OBJ didn't even know any of the plays. They double team Cup. It was a bad game. You guys beat us. That's great. Now the second game, we should have beat you, but look at the difference between the 2 games. So that's the real game, the second game. And then for the third time, we beat you guys. So we could have easily been, if you really look at it, we could have easily won both of those games. The second game. So Stafford wasn't there for the 6th one. And the advantage that the Niners had in those other games is Jared Goff was our quarterback and Robert Saleh had his number. Because if we had Stafford, we probably would have won those games easy. Because remember when McVay, it was 4-1 against Kyle Shanahan before Jimmy G got there. So it's like 7-4 now when it comes to the series.
Stafford was there when we beat you guys 31-10.
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about when Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Right.
And then we said, you know what? How are we losing to these guys? And then we took that 17-point lead in the next game, and we took the foot off the pedal. But that's what I'm saying. The second game and the next game after that are the 2 games to really look at because the Rams got better each time because we made adjustments. And now we have Bobby Wagner. Because how did you guys beat us? Debo. And then we got Bobby Wagner now. So no more Debo in the middle stuff. And then you guys play into our hands with a young quarterback, and hopefully he'll float some of those balls over the middle, and Jalen Ramsey and Troy Hill can grab some of those interceptions. So we'll see what happens. But that's why I say Stafford wasn't there for those 6 games, so that doesn't even matter anymore. We could have won the second game. We won the big one. So, it's like I said, it's a rivalry. I'm so stoked, but I'm very confident in my team. We have a Super Bowl winning quarterback instead of an inexperienced quarterback who hardly has any pro experience at all. And so that's why I say, if you really look at it like that, like if it was switched around and we said, hey, Jay, we have this young quarterback, man, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback, you kind of look side-eye at me like, what you talking about?
I would say Trey has a lot to prove.
Yes,
and I think he will do that. Like play you guys week 4. We have 2 easy games at the beginning of the season against Seattle against Chicago. Yeah, against Chicago and I think in Seattle. So those are 2 pretty good, two easy wins, and then we play Denver and then you guys. So that'll be a huge test. The first, or I should say, game 3 and game 4 of the regular season, and we'll see what Trey Lance is made of. But we are very, very excited. There's weapons on both sides of the ball. So I can't wait. I wouldn't expect you to say that the Niners are going to sweep the Rams this year or anything like that. So, I understand you guys are very confident, and I would expect nothing less. You guys won the Super Bowl. So
and what we learned too is regular season wins don't matter. Regular season, you got to win the big one.
Right.
So, if you can't win the big one, and there's regular season games, you want to win every game. Don't get me wrong. I wish you guys didn't have that 6-0 streak against us, and then you guys beat us the other 2 games, but it worked out. But Kyle Shanahan and McVay, they're good buddies, but they're so
they're
intertwined. Yeah, they're competitors. But Kyle Shanahan, I was going to ask you this on one of the questions I was going to ask you. So we already hit the offensive line. So let me ask you this about Kyle Shanahan, because you've been there. Now, you're not going to say anything bad about your guy because he from where you were before. I still picture Mike Singletary. I can't win with him. I miss Mike Singletary.
Yeah,
I miss the good old days of Mike Singletary. I miss the Jim Druckenmillers and the Tim Rattays and the JT O'Sullivans. I miss those Niners. And but let me ask you this about. So we used to have a guy named Mike Martz who was an offensive genius, offensive mind with the greatest show on turf. He cost us some rings, though, in my opinion. And there was a guy back in the 80s. We had Norv Turner. We got to the championship game with Norv Turner. But each of these guys tried to be a head coach, and they just weren't head coach material. That's the way I see Kyle Shanahan. I see Kyle Shanahan as a great offensive. Matter of fact, you guys would be scary if Anthony Lee, what's the Charger
Anthony
coach you guys
Lynn.
got, if he was your head coach and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator, because I love him. Somebody's going to snatch him up and be a head coach. But I just think that he's not head coaching material. He's a great offensive mind, but look, he never takes the sword, in my opinion. When we had Jared Goff, McVay would say, it's my fault. I didn't get guys in positions to succeed. He would always take the sword. Kyle Shanahan does it. So this is one of the questions I want to ask you. Do you think, as great as Kyle Shanahan's been with you guys, helping you guys get to the championship game and the Super Bowl, do you think that he's hindered your winning the Super Bowl with his decisions and the way he's handled personnel and drafting guys that are injury prone?
I would say that Shanahan's best attribute is not with drafting players. He's definitely made some head scratching draft picks, but I think we've learned from that. Regarding the Super Bowl, yeah, I mean, people bring up the Atlanta Falcons, which he's not the head coach. So I don't know why people really bring that up. I know he's the offensive coordinator, but play calling is, hey, if the play gets a first down, it's the right call, right? If it's successful, it's technically the right call. But also players have to execute. You could have the perfect play called against a defense you expect, but if Brunskill doesn't block his man, hey, Trey Lance gets sacked. So I would say if I'll tell you this, if Kyle Shanahan was fired today, he'd have a job in 5 minutes. Like he would be very, very sought after. I think bringing on Anthony Lynn. Now you mentioned Anthony Lynn, and another thing about this 49ers offseason is we've had a lot of coaches leave. Mike McDaniel got the Miami Dolphin job. He's now a head coach. There have been other offensive coaches who have left, and I think that's because they believe more in Jimmy G than Trey Lance. So we have a lot of new coaches. I think Anthony Lynn is probably the best.
I love him.
Coach. Yeah, best coach we've had. He's had success with his running game everywhere.
That was a great hire.
Yeah, and I think he kind of got a raw deal with the Chargers. And I'm sure some people would say, well, he had a lot of talent. He never really was able to have a successful playoff run, which is true. But fortunately for us, we have Anthony Lynn. I think he's going to help. He's going to, with the other guys that were on the coaching staff, Shanahan never really had someone who's as experienced, who's been a head coach like Anthony Lynn. And if Shanahan says, hey, we want to do this, Anthony Lynn has the respect, he has the knowledge of the game, and say, hey, maybe we should do it this way. And I think Shanahan would only respect that and maybe even listen more to what Anthony Lynn says. So I think those are valid concerns we have about Shanahan. But some people would say that, hey, Jimmy G's been hurt. When he's been hurt, the season is basically over. But when Jimmy G's been healthy, we've had 2 NFC Championship appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance. So I think Shanahan's doing a solid job. I think any head coach would love to have that type of resume with the 49ers that Kyle Shanahan has had. But let me say one more thing. If you take away any starting quarterback, I mean, most teams are not going to be successful. Most teams are not going to be able to overcome that over like an 8 to 12 game stretch.
Well, the one thing I want to give Kyle Shanahan his flowers to, like I said, it's my opinion. I just think that he's a much better offensive coordinator than head coach. That's just my opinion. He reminds me of Mike Martz and Norv Turner. But I want to give him his flowers, though, too, because that turnaround from last year, from 3-5, able to get to the NFC Championship game, also having to scheme and hide Jimmy's deficiencies, able to win the Packers and beat the diva Aaron Rodgers. He couldn't even muster at home offensive touchdown. Now, it wasn't his fault that you guys blocked the 2 kicks, but you got to score. You got to score. But
also, Jimmy G was banged up.
Yeah, he had a thumb, and that's what I was gonna. Yeah. That's what I wanted to get your insight on this one, Jay. So I don't know it all. I'm just giving my opinion. You want to usher in the Trey Lance era, right? There's my guy, a Bay Area baller. What's up, brother? So I want to just give you my opinion. So imagine the Trey Lance era in that championship game, right? Kyle Shanahan is an offensive genius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that he can't, and I can't believe he didn't do this. Go into his bag of tricks when you guys needed those third downs instead of giving it to use check, where we just stopped that. You guys weren't running like you were before. Have both Trey and Jimmy in there, or switch out different plays and usher in the Trey Lance era because we don't know what's coming.
Right.
Where were those plays? That's what I'm talking about. A head coach, because maybe there's just too much for him to do. I don't know, but where were those plays where Trey Lance was healthy, right? He was healthy on the sidelines. Where were some plays when you needed those instead of leaving Jimmy back there with a surgical, where were those plays from the great Kyle Shanahan? That's what his bag of tricks is, his offensive coordinator. Where was Trey Lance? Bring him in on plays that you've worked on, go into your bag, and have him use his legs if you have to get those first downs. So it's just amazing. That's why I'm talking about the two guys, because McVay learned from the game where we were up 17-0 in SoFi Stadium and you guys squeaked it out. He learned, don't take the foot off the pedal. Like play against Tampa Bay, when they came back, we had fumble after fumble, even Cup fumbled, and Tom Brady thought he was going to pull a Falcons comeback on us, and then my guy Stafford said, "Wait, hold my beer." And then he went and stole Tom Brady's soul and threw that bomb down the touchdown.
Right,
I mean, that took cojones, right?
Right.
And so Sean McVay wasn't going to have it, and Matthew Stafford wasn't going to have it because he's no Matt Ryan. That's not how his season's going to go down. He's not going to let Tom Brady do that to him. So that's why I'm surprised that Kyle Shanahan didn't pull a Trey Lance out of his bag on some of those plays to implement him and usher in the Trey Lance era. Imagine that the Niner fans would have went crazy if he would have came on the field. So I'm just surprised he missed that opportunity.
That's a great point. And what I would say is, I think Shanahan is most comfortable when Jimmy G was under center. Jimmy G
veteran quarterback, yeah.
Jimmy G was a part of this team. 2019 helped to get us to the Super Bowl. It would have been nice if he would have sprinkled in, hey, let's change it up. Let's make the Packers think, oh, what if Trey Lance gets the ball? I mean, that's a great point. The only thing I can think of is Shanahan loves his veterans, and we've seen it in this season. We've had young guys that have come on that look good, especially on the offensive line. But Shanahan loves his veterans. He loves guys that basically don't make mistakes. They might make the huge play.
And he puts you in the doghouse too. He puts guys in the doghouse.
He does put guys in the doghouse. Absolutely. He will. And that would have been nice. Hindsight's 2020. That would have been nice to put Trey in and see what he can do.
And we have the same thing, Jay. We had Schroenick, who dropped that ball against you guys in the championship, like I told you.
Right.
And then the Super Bowl, what does he do? It goes off of his hands and it gets intercepted in the middle of the field. We have Brandon Powell, who's our kick returner and sure-handed guy. McVay could have put him in there on some like cheetah plays,
right.
Short passes, areas to when we could stop. They stopped us because they were double teaming Cup, and Jefferson wasn't standing up and he wasn't coming through, and then we are down to our third tight end. So we have some of that too, but I'm just surprised that he didn't usher in the Trey Lance era in that championship game with all those Niner fans there. Imagine they would have went crazy. And so I'm just surprised the offensive genius that he was, especially he could have just schemed something easy like a running game or an option play.
Trey Lance will be worth the wait. That's what I'll tell you. Trey Lance will be worth the wait, and we will all see come week one. But let me. It's been a blast having you on.
Now we could do this all night, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know, right? I wish I could do it all night, but we're definitely going to have you on again. That's for sure. But I got to ask you, what are your Mount Rushmore of LA Rams players? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
This is so hard, Jay, because if I was an old guy, I mean, you can go back to Crazy Legs Hirsch, Norv Van Brocklin, Dick Night Train Lane. I mean, on and on and on. But for me, of course, Merlin Olsen, 14 straight Pro Bowls, Deacon Jones, AD, Kurt Warner, and And then you got to have honor. Let's see that. So you have Merlin Olsen and Deacon Jones, AD, Kurt Warner. You got to put Eric Dickerson in there. In my opinion, the greatest running back of all time. Basically took the Rams to the championship game in the middle of the Niners' heyday in 1985 with Dieter Brock as quarterback, a CFL quarterback who was 5'10". He basically we had to play the 85 Bears. And then I have honorable mentions. Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce. And then can we get Torrey Holt and Henry Ellard in the Hall of Fame? It's ridiculous. When Henry Ellard retired, he was third in the all-time receiving list. Now it's a pass-happy league. And he has more yards than Torrey Holt, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So, and then you got Jack Youngblood, and, you know, just like the Niners, there's just too many players.
Right.
So, but those are my guys, and you can take away this and that. But Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones, AD, Warner, and Eric Dickerson would be the 5. And then you have the other guys that, you know, I would love for them to have a fearsome foursome statue in front of SoFi Stadium so that way the Charger fans could come and go by it every time they go by. Are they going to cover our banners? Are they going to cover our banners like the Clippers cover the Lakers banners when they go in the stadium?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, talented team. Yeah, when I was looking up, you know, the top 10 greatest LA Rams players, and it must have been a bogus list because I didn't even see Eric Dickerson on there. So clearly that was a bogus list. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it up close. You know, the greatest show on turf, Falk, Warner, all those guys, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. Man, yeah, you guys have had obviously a ton of great players that have gone through that organization, and it continues today. But I think both teams are matched greatly. Obviously, I think you guys have an advantage at the quarterback position. But I think and of course, yeah, you got AD and you got Jalen Ramsey. We brought on our own corner in free agency, Travarius Ward. Is he Jalen Ramsey? No,
yeah,
but
great additions. He's
definitely an upgrade. There's no doubt. We needed to upgrade our corners. I think we definitely did that. Man, I can't wait. I wish we could play tomorrow. Man.
I know, man. Check this out, Jay. You want to hear something on a trip? Okay, so the St. Louis Rams won the Super Bowl, right? And then people say, oh, well, that was the St. Louis Rams, right? They try to be a little haterade. Right. And I say, well, hold on a minute now. There were 4 starters on that LA Rams, OG LA Rams on that St. Louis team that won the Super Bowl. The one who made the game-winning catch was who? Isaac Bruce. He was drafted by the LA Rams. So the LA Rams, and plus they were wearing LA Rams uniforms, colored uniforms. There's my guy, Payo. So, plus they were wearing LA Rams uniforms, right? So they won that Super Bowl. So the LA Rams and St. Louis Rams collaborated for that Super Bowl, right? Flashback to this last Super Bowl. We had Aaron Donald and Johnny Hecker on the Rams from the St. Louis Rams, along with these LA Rams. And there you go. So the 2 Super Bowls, both cities had players on the team that were from St. Louis or LA, vice versa. So it's amazing. Like I said, it's a magical time, man. I couldn't be more happier. This is possibly the greatest era of Rams football, period, besides the greatest show on turf, because we already have the chip in the shelf and we've learned from our past mistakes. And it's amazing time, man. I just can't say enough about it. So, and you guys are ushering the Trey Lance era. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah. But it's going to be amazing, man. It's going to be amazing.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. A lot of Niner fans, I would say most Niner fans, are really excited about Trey Lance. I know there's some that still want Jimmy G, and I can't really understand that. But we're riding.
Let me say this. Yeah. Let me say this. So I understand that only because I'm just going to interject this. I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel bad for Jared Goff. He'll always be a Ram. You know, he helped us get to the Super Bowl, but he just couldn't get to that next level, right? I mean, it is what it is.
That's Jimmy G.
We couldn't wait. I mean, Aaron Donald's not getting any younger, right? So we couldn't wait. We need the guy when things break down, like Stafford showed last year against the Ravens. Him and OBJ connected. He wasn't playing that great, but all of a sudden, you're like Joe Montana. He has a bad game. And then who do you fear in the fourth quarter? Joe Montana to come back and win, right? Matthew Stafford is one of the league killers in the fourth quarter. He's got something like 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. So no matter what the game looks like in the beginning, if he's around there, he's going to win. So we needed that quarterback that when things are breaking down to get us over the hump. And that's why I'm so glad that we got Stafford. And so I understand that Jimmy G thinks, because when you guys got Jimmy G, you were 1-10, and Levi Stadium was empty. The red wave was gone. It was dissolved. There was reports that Levi Stadium, another empty stadium at Levi Stadium, because what are you going to go watch? The team looked horrible, and then Jimmy G breathed life into you guys.
Right.
So I understand that too. But yeah, it sucks that especially Jimmy G took to the Super Bowl and NFC Championship game, and now it's being discarded. But that's the way pro sports is, unfortunately.
That's the way that pro sports is, and it takes a team. It's a team of 53 guys. And if you ask a lot of Niner fans, they would say that Jimmy G was along for the ride. And I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I think that John Lynch has done a great job in adding depth and talent to this team. It's not just about the starters; it's about the entire. At least I feel like we have a great 22, 33-man roster when you include special teams. I just can't wait to see it, play out on the field on Sunday. I just can't wait to see it. But
can I stir the pot real quick, Jay?
Absolutely.
I got to get my guy Kelts Chronicles, bro. Comparing Stafford to Montana, I'm done. Okay, hold on, bro. We're not comparing Joe Montana to Stafford, but remember this: the Rams shut out Joe Montana when he was the Chiefs, 16-0, gave him his only shutout of his career. Plus, the Rams used to split with Joe Montana 49ers. Now, answer me this. What game did the Joe Montana play where the Niners were underdogs in the Super Bowl? What game did you see Joe Montana throw a no-look pass over the middle in crunch time? Nothing. So don't give me that, brother. We're a new era. Joe Montana's on the sidelines watching Stafford. So just let that be, brother. We're not comparing them, but you've never seen Joe Montana throw a no-look pass over the middle in crunch time. So just let that be, brother. And there you go.
Hey, man, Montana is the GOAT, but this is Stafford's time right now.
Yes,
I can't wait to see the Niners beat the Rams this year. That's what I'm looking forward to. I know we were supposedly in on Stafford, but I think, hey, getting the number 3 overall pick, selecting our franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years, it'll be interesting to see over the next 10 to 15 years who wins more Super Bowls, Rams and Niners. But we
got the last 2. I love when they say we got 5. Well, that's cute. We won the last 2. Your turn.
Yeah,
your turn.
You are right. You are absolutely right.
Since free agency has been the way it is, and this, you guys win the Super Bowl in the free agent period where it started, but you guys basically already had your team. Mm-hmm. Since free agency era has come in full bore, the Rams are the only NFC West team to win the Super Bowl twice. Mm. Remember that. There's no Carmen policy, and Eddie DeBarlo Jr. coming down those hallways anytime soon. Now it's Les Snead and Tony Pastors doing the willing and dealing.
Yeah, I can't deny you guys have been more successful most recently. There's no denying that. All we can do is look toward the future. But it's great having you on tonight, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And half the stuff I say, I'm just messing with you guys, but
you stirring the pot, man.
I gotta stir the pot, but like I have love for you, my guy Jay in the Bay. Send love for my guys, the Rams House TV. Props to them and my guy Peo.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's all about, we love our teams. I want everybody to be safe. Make sure you watch my guy Jay in the Bay show. Come and check my show. Come into the chats. But it's all about happiness with the COVID crap going on, and I've lost a couple family members and best friends, and right now it's just a time to rejoice. We're happy about our teams, and let's just get it on, baby. That's what it's about. This is a good time for us to come in and collaborate, and I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and let the people know where they can find you out on social media if people didn't see the beginning of the show.
Thank you. So I'm on Ramilia Sports on Twitter. I haven't posted a lot there. I just started doing that again. IG, the Ramilia Sports Report, and then my YouTube channel, the Ramilia Sports Report. And we do lives on there. I'm a Ram season ticket holder. So I do videos from inside SoFly Stadium. We call it SoFly Stadium. It's amazing. The tailgating, amazing. Even other teams are welcome to come in. We talk football. I got my guy Granzer 12. He's a big Dolphin fan. He's an honorary member of the Ramilia. We go back and forth, and it's all about football. It's all about love, and we respect each other's opinions. We can be passionate, but also be cool at the end of the day, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, man. The players, we are all passionate fan bases. But of course, at the end of the day, we all want everyone to be healthy, stay healthy, and let the players on the field decide the outcome and go from there. But man, been a blast having you on tonight.
Thank you, man.
And make sure you follow the Ramilia Sports Report, IG, Twitter, YouTube. All his social media links are in the description. And you have a great rest of your night, man. We will be in touch soon, man. I appreciate
you, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Ramulators, mount up.
All right, man. Man, that was a hell of a show with the Ramilia Sports Report. Huge shout out to everyone in the chat. Rams fans coming in, Niners fans coming in. I can't wait for this rivalry to continue, man. I mean, both fan bases are passionate about their teams. We're all confident in our teams, and I just can't wait to see them kick the ball off. Huge shout out to the content creators who are in the stream today. And also huge shout out to everyone who contributed to the stream. It's nothing like having tons of Rams and Niners fans in the stream going back and forth. Shout out to Blue Truth for that donation to the stream as well. And as Grandizer says, be safe, Jay and Rudy. Same to all you guys and gals. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. I will see you guys in the next one. Go Niners. See you guys in the next one.